Hello friends, gals and guys. Hope we are all well, as I am. Anyway, yeah, we're back with the Ontario French, the Franco-Ontarien machine à coudre, sewing machine, DÉNIS. And actually the guy I bought it from was Ontario French. And his name was, of course, everybody speaks English in near Rice Lake, so he was called Dennis, but his actual birth name was Dénis. So that's why this this masterpiece in front of us, right here, is called Dénis. And sometimes I call him Dennis, but I have a 401A called Dennis. So I like to keep calling this guy Dénis, and it's not difficult for me because I live in downtown Montreal. Anyway, we're getting back to looking after our fantastic 306K on a regular basis here at Jebb Adams channel. And we're not going to talk about viewers and subscribers and likes and all that stuff. We know what to do. We know what our role is here for helping these machines, so thank you. And so I'm looking over this stuff right here because I'm deciding all this needs to be cleaned. This still needs to be, I still have to devise a way to disassemble this, and that's going to be an ongoing project. I'm going to have to do a little research for that. This needs to be cleaned. It has been cleaned, I think initially, but it still needs, there's still grunge on there. It hasn't, and there's grime. It hasn't been given the, you know, the normal 5-step process that we do. Here is the light and some electrical, the electrical plug. And the reason I mention that is because, as we recall, this is the condition of the wiring inside the sheathing, inside the protective coating, which is disintegrated, and you see another disintegration occurring there. So this lens glass, I'm hoping that it's just dirty. It doesn't appear to be chipped even, so I'm hoping that that will come nice and clean. The light itself looks in pretty good condition. I mean, just in spite of this machine being a train wreck, you know, I paid 50 Canadian, but I had to drive 5 hours each way to get it. I spent more on gas and food than, you know, what I paid, the $50 that I paid for the machine. But anyway, it's all part of the adventure, right? It's all part of the journey. So what I am going to clean is I'm going to clean this today. I do have soap and water, KRUD cutter, rinsing water, and I went to fill these up, and I discovered our water is shut off. But you see, I keep a little bit of extra water in this old liquid dishwashing liquid bottle, and I'm glad I had that. Plus, I have a Brita jug in the refrigerator that I drink out of. Plus, I have 3 1-liter plastic Perrier water bottles that I had Perrier water in, and I just use them to keep it in the fridge. Plus my coffee maker has at least 4 cups of water in it. Anyway, I'm going to clean that, clean this. I'm going to clean this. This is probably just going to go, I don't know that I will put that entirely in KRUD cutter, anything that's really painted. Like I may wipe it down, spray it with KRUD cutter, and immediately wipe it off and clean it that way with KRUD cutter. These parts, yeah, I'll put them in KRUD cutter, you know. I want to see what we got in here for springs and washers and stuff. You can see the grunge on there, you know. But it's not bad. I mean, all these things are going to go in the KRUD cutter. So it's just a matter, I'm not going to deal with the light right now. All I'm going to do is deal with that. I would like to deal with the inside of the nose plate, and like the machine's had a rough life. There's a little abrasion there, and I noticed a couple of others, especially on the hand wheel. Maybe in the right light you can see that, especially right around there, scratches or what have you. So those are dings of some sort. So I don't know what happened there. And like I say, I want to get some soap and water on here and just get it up to the best that we can get it. So the light I'm not going to mess with. That, the stitch length adjuster and the needle position lever, the stitch length lever and the needle position lever device. And that looks like a sealed bearing of some sort. I don't know how much you guys can see in there, but still, it's an interesting device. I will say that. You know, I can turn it. There was a screw here. Took that screw out. It's in a little bag there. But anyway, so let me see how much. Okay, we still got. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get the big stuff out of the way. Before I go much further, I want to undo this set screw and take this out. So let me get a really small screwdriver and see how tight this is. Well, it's tight, but that's a big screwdriver for a little screwdriver. That did it. That did it. Now, if I could get this off and still leave that screw in there, that would be the best, I think. There he is. There it is. How's that? Does that make any difference yet? Yes, it did. There, it's come off. So, what am I using for a collector? I'm going to move all this stuff out of the way over on that side, and I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to put that there, put that there for now. I don't need that anymore. I can put that, I don't need that anymore. That'll be going in the KRUD cutter. This now should come apart. Yes, so we'll be able to clean that really well now. That'll be no problem cleaning that, and it's 2 screws. That's the motor mount. And then what we want to do right now is take this apart. And which one do I want to undo first? I guess I'll try this one. I want to get a bigger blade. There. There. So my little alarm on the phone here is going to go off at 14 minutes. And then what I'll do when that goes off is I won't say goodbye or anything. I'll just stop it. And then that one seems stiff in there. Why? I'm going to try and doing this one too. And I'll just stop the camera. And then I'll restart it again for another 14 minutes. That's not undoing the way I would like. There's one here. That one was really easy to undo. That one was almost loose. So that's cool. Where's my little driver? There, that's coming out. Slowly but surely. I think what we hear out there now is the garbage trucks going by. So that's where that screw came out of, right in there. So we'll put it in there so we don't lose it. And yeah, here comes the G-force, the garbage trucks down the street to So this is a really stiff screw on doing it. But it is coming undone. I can see it's receding right there. There's the other end of this screw that I couldn't even turn. So, but it is undoing. Oh, now it's loose. So we're going to look for washers and springs. So there's no washer there. There's the screw that came out of there. And I point that out because when it comes out to reassembling it, it's good to have this all filmed. So here's this piece, which is here to be cleaned. So we'll put that in there as well. And then what we see is there's a spring in there. Do you see that? We're looking at two springs here. Two springs here. This first one on the right that goes under there, that's the one spring. And then in here, maybe you saw it just move when I pressed, or maybe, but you can see when I press it, it does move. There's another spring or coil in there. What do we got on the other side of this right now? Nothing. So I have to get this screw undone. So let me see with the smaller one if I'll have any more success with it. Well, that one's tight in there. I just can't. Oh, I don't want to strip it. Let me put a bigger bit on here. Oh, even that's too small. Let me get a really big bit. I want to go bigger than that. Let me see if the biggest bit will do it. That's the one we're going to use for now. We'll put the little one that we took off, we put it back in there. We're going to take that one off as well. Oh, we'll give it a, there. It loosened, it snapped. So now it's not bad. It's a little resistant to, not any more resistant than the other one. I guess once you get more of it out, it'll be less resistant. So I'm glad that I didn't have to do any more work to get this out. I'm going to keep my finger there. Okay, so here's the screw. That's what that looks like. Another volunteer for the... You know what, I'm just going to throw some of these guys right in the CRUD cutter right now. Yes, sirree. That's where they're going to... You know, they're not painted parts or Bakelite parts or whatever, so... Oh, sorry, I gave you guys a knock on the back of the noggin there. Where are we here? Okay, here we are here. So I took that screw out, and then this wheel comes off, this pulley. Oh, and there's this piece that had the other little screw. So it's going in the CRUD cutter. There's that other little spring with the tab sticking up there. See that? There, you got a good view of it. It's right there sticking out. So and then the other spring is this one right here, and it came right out. So I'm going to throw the spring in the crud cutter. That I'm not going to throw in the crud cutter. I may just use a little paintbrush with crud cutter and wipe it up, dry it off right away with water or soap or whatever. Same on this one. You know, don't want to get a whole lot of crud cutter on there. Let me get some of these tools out of the way with now that I've got this apart, so that we can see a little better. So we've got that stuff in the crud cutter, and I'm going to use crud cutter on some parts with a brush. So let's do that right now. So let's bring this crud cutter front and center. And that's what the rest of this video for the next 8 or 9 minutes is going to be, is giving this stuff a quick crud cutter, and then well, I guess it's going in the crud cutter too. So I'll take it out first. What do you say? And I think it'll be fine as long as I get onto it with some soap and then some water and oil, especially in the oil port there. But you know, there's some real grunge there. Let me get a little closer again so you guys can see. But our regular cleaning process for grungy parts, look at it, it's just, you know, flaking off really. I'm just going to put it in there, give them a stir, and let them sit there for another minute. But yeah, give them the whole thing, the crud cutter if they can take it. Some kind of crud cutter treatment if possible. That little spring is still in there. And I think there's another end that sticks into a little spot at the other place there, but no matter. I'll just give this little bit of crud cutter and the spring, and then the cavities, the screw holes. And this is 100% crud cutter. So, you know, I certainly haven't skimped. I don't skimp on oil either. I'm really generous with tri-flow oil. It's a really good oil. That's what I think. Well, since everything else got crud cutter on there, so much for not putting them in crud cutter. You know, don't do as I do, do as I say. I used to want to scream when the teacher would say that back in public school in the 60s. It was a different world back then. So anyway, pardon me. And time to get a cloth, shop towel. Give it a dry. Where's another little brush? This one, can I use this one? Oh, that's a little messy. Let me try using this one. I'll try using this brush. And I'll get the soapy water. I'll just wash it with the soapy water now. And I'm washing the crud cutter off, because crud cutter is a degreaser. It is not good on finishes. I would not put crud cutter on those decals or on that. If it got on there, I'd wash it off fairly soon. But for some of these hardier parts, this has no decals. And it's going to be rinsed, which is what we got here. Clear H2O, so that goes in there for a rinse. And what else we got in here now while that lies there in the rinse for a minute? I want to get this guy out. it out. So that grunge is coming cleaner. I mean, there's some tarnishing. Tarnishing is not grunge, you know. That's coming clean, or has come clean. Oh, there's a little more coming off there. Good, so we'll just put that in there for a second, and then we'll get this part. Oh, that's coming nice and clean, isn't it? Into the soapy water. I'm so glad we're getting this one. This one is on the exterior of the machine at the front, I think, right near the needle thread tension device. You know, so it's nice to see it coming clean. What's the next biggest pieces? Let's get this one. Let me get this one first. So there's a couple of marks. There's one there that may be going away. I'm not certain whether it's a tarnish or a jab or whatever. That's clean. There's this one here. Let me give it a little brush with this. Well, whatever it is, it's resistant to that even. So we're just going to have to live with it into the soap and water. And then we have this guy, this dudette. I think that's the one that keeps our cams on there. Probably didn't see where I was pointing because it's out of range, out of the view. But so yeah, it's just the usual glamour and the glory, and get in there and clean. And now we've got a bunch of other parts. You know what? This is going to get CRUD cuttered anyway, so I'll put them in there. Then we got all sorts of little screws, little set screws, and what else? There's a nut or something. There we go. What else we got? Something rolling around, and oopsie daisy in there. That one came clean. I thought we might have some more screws in there, but maybe not. Oh, I put them in the bag. That's where they are. So this is good. Let me scrape the grunge off here. Sweet. I love getting these things clean. Just watching I love it when the 100% CRUD cutter just, you can put it in the CRUD cutter and just see the grunge drifting off in the water like clouds in the sky, just wisping away. And, oh geez, I'm sorry, I'm way out of range for you guys. What an awful... I'll have to edit that out. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, and then throwing them in the water. It's just an endless process, right? And put those in there, and good. This now, the inside of the nose plate, it's nice and covered in CRUD cutter. And I'll get a shop towel like that. It'll soak up the CRUD cutter. And I'll give it a nice wiping with the CRUD cutter. And it's getting the surface stuff. I'm even going to do the outside with it. So that's going to continue. I'm going to move along with getting that stuff out of the soapy water. So I'm just finishing up with the parts that were there on the table. I want to look at this part again. Oh no, it's coming undone. Good, so we'll throw it in there, and then we'll give this side for sure CRUD. Well, we're going to put CRUD cutter on the whole thing, but I'll wipe it off right away and then wipe it down with the soap and water. The hair dryer is ready to go, standing by as always. Maybe you've noticed that I've labeled my my containers, KK for CRUD cutter, H2O and soap, clear H2O. It gets, you know, sometimes, and I'm not complaining and I'm not trying to embellish or pretend that I'm Superman or something, because I'm not. I'm just regular folks, man. But it can get a little hectic when you're talking and putting things in, you know, keep trying to, you know how bad I can be sometimes at keeping things in the view, you know. And I know how bad I can be at it too, you know. So, but anyway, the more I do, the more movies I make, you know, the more videos, tutorials, whatever you want to call them, the better off I am. So there, that's got soap and water on it. What else are we going to do? We're going to get some soap and water on this now, especially the outside. And then we're going to get some soap and water on the inside too. So we're getting like the top layer of dirt off. Some of these will require a second cleaning. Like this one here, I think it's going to require more than just, you know, the quick rinse it's getting and the CRUD cutter and soap and water. I mean, these things have been, they haven't been cleaned for, like, you know, a long time. So there's that. Let's put that back there. Let's get the soap and water for this baby here, because we said we were going to use only soap and water on it. So we'll get some soap and water on it. I mean, it's a little dusty and dirty. It's not terrifically grungy. You know, I mean, the dust has been on for a long time, so you need the soap and water just to get that off so we can purdy it up, you know. But that's working good. What else we got? While we're at it, just throw them on in. And we'll let them sit there for a minute. And where's this thing? It's going to be on high heat, low blow, but I will be changing to high blow as well. And first thing I want to get out of the water is this one now. And so when we do take them out of the water, where'd I put my paper towels, man? Where'd they go, baby? Shh. shit, I had a whole roll of paper towels here. They're right beside me under my nose. No wonder I couldn't find them. Because what I want to do first is soak up the excess clear water and soapy water off the parts. So that, oh, the spring came out, oh dear. There it is. So we're going to have to dry that as well with that, and then these will be ready to dry. And you know, it's our whole process. CRUD cutter if possible, then soap and water. If CRUD cutter not possible, then soap and water, then clear water, then a towel dry, then a blow dry, then some oil or lubrication. And I'm a bad boy, I even oil and lubricate parts you're not supposed to, and then I just keep wiping them down or rewashing them or whatever. I just want to get some oil on this, like that. Paper towel. And then plug your ears. I need a better container than that. Oh good, I got some paper towels, shop towels too. Oh good, you got some more shop towels. Good. I'll throw them over there. Pardon me. Big Jebb. So that'll go in there like that for now. It's under the paper towel. I'll just push all those tools back, and then I will get my needle nose pliers and this little spring, and I will turn it on low and then high. Nice. And when you turn it on high, you got to make sure that you don't blow anything right out of the sky. What do I have in there? A little junk. What do I have in there? A little junk. So I'll put the little junk, because there's some small screws, a couple of small screws in there. There's the second small screw. There's a big screw for an electrical plug box or holder, whatever, wire holder. That needle can go up there for now. And then we'll put a spring in there. Get a paper towel, shop towel. Now I think I already cleaned that one and dried it, but I'm going to make sure and dry it again. And this one, same thing, and we're looking for, and as I dry it, or wipe it off or whatever, I'm looking for dirt, for the hidden spots or the interior spots like that. See, there's some dirt came out of that. So this will get a rewash before it goes on back on for another, 40 or 50 years or whatever. I won't have to worry about the next one. But look at the dirt I'm getting off there, so it has to be redone. But for now, we're just gonna continue with the process and not hold up anybody. And then we're gonna get the water for the big guy here. Sweet. Wash and wipe. Dry off the excess with the shop towel. Excuse me. And then we'll put that in there. And then we got to go back to the soap bowl. Oh, there's our spring. Oh, that's why we put it in there, because we want it in there. Duh. There's that. There's that. There's that other spring. There's that. So they all got to go in the water too and rinse. So we'll put them in the water. That's the clear water, clean water. It's slippery stuff always dealing with soap and water or oil or what have you. Okay. So we're on the rinse here now. So let me move this stuff front and center. What am I going off on these obscure weird angles for? There. You can kind of see what we're doing there. So, just giving them a rinse with the water. Where's another towel, shop towel? There's one there. There's another one. So we'll dump them there. And like I say earlier, part of the cleaning process is that sometimes they don't all come clean the first time, but before they go back on that machine, they will be clean, And I'm getting the bigger pieces here first. And I'm going to leave those other ones in the water, and I'm going to get these ones dried off and give them the low blow and high blow. So this one's wiped down. This one's wiped down. This little one's wiped down now. And so there's an oil port right, well, that's not an oil port, that's for a screw, I think, but there's an oil port right here. So we're going to put as much oil as we can on this thing, even though it's still going to be blow dry. That's okay. You know what, I'm going to wipe this one down before I drown it in oil. Especially the oil port for that bearing. Shake the oil and then put it on. It's going to get oiled again anyway after it's blow dry, but I don't want any flash rust to spontaneously pop up. Oh, no, what am I doing putting it over there? It hasn't been blown dry yet. I hear some banging. They must be fixing the plumbing to get the water going again. Okay. Let me wipe these off, even though they're nice and oily. Oopsie daisy. We'll get any residue water with them as well. And now we'll get the drying machine. So that's done. And these are all going to have to be wiped again because I'm putting on too much oil, because I want to make sure that in the case that there is water, residual water left, if I didn't get it with the hair dryer, then the oil will get it. And at least mix with it. And what will it accomplish? Maybe prevent flash rust, or rust it, entirely. So that's done. That one's done too. I think we had already said this one was done, but we'll give them a wipe again. And you know what? I think I wanted to give that one a blow dry. I do. So that fell out of there. That fell out of there. Fair enough. Nice. Shake the oil. There's another screw there. There's 2 screws on this device. So I will be redoing that one for sure. So far so good. We continue. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Why did that start to fall over? What the hell's going on here? So, there's a spring there. There's a little screw there. There's a little screw there. So we'll put it on low. No, we won't. We'll mop it off. Yeah, we'll mop it off. Quickly, one at a time. There's that one. These 2 that go on the motor mount. And then this little spring. And those little screws. So, we're gonna go low blow, and I'm gonna hold this and try and prevent everything from blowing away. There. So now we're going to move into the oiling phase. I want to look at this guy quickly and get that screw out of there. And it's coming out. And I want to get that screw out of there. And it's coming undone. So, and right now, this will be the first one I oil up. It's still going to be washed later, because there's a little bit of grunge on there. But these parts are going to be, they're not going to rust or flash rust or anything, because they're going to be fine and greasy. This one goes down here, in there. So, put that one there. Grease, grease, grease. Grease, grease, grease. That's greasy. That's greasy. Whoopsie daisy. It's greasy. It's greasy. So we're getting nice and oily. And then they'll get a wipe down. Numerous wipe downs, because it's oil. One wipe down doesn't do it. Oops, see daisy. Oh, I see a washer down there too. Well, it's good I dropped that. So let me get my magnet wand. Well, my magic wand. My magnet wand is my magic wand. Can I get the washer? So it's not a magnetic washer. But I'll throw it in there anyway. And now where did my screw, oh there it is there. Well that I was able to pick up. So I'm going to continue along wiping these things down and starting to get things ready for an assembly. And that'll be in a few minutes from now. I'm going to take a break and I'll be tidying up a little bit now that I don't need the KRUD cutter and the water and all that stuff. And I hope you guys are getting some value and some building your knowledge base here with the machines. And that's what these machines are. The purpose they serve is as a teaching tool, as a demonstration tool. So, you know, you can sit at home with your machine or in your office or your workshop or wherever, and I can do it here, and we can work through it together and learn together. I love these 306s. Love these 306s. Another one came up for sale, but it's 5 hours away, one way. So 4 hours away one way, 5 hours away. It's in Belleville. It's too far. Anyway, my friends, all the best, and we will continue with our restoration.